Hello viewers, I am Tarang Kumar Boonwal, Assistant Professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. The following video is prepared as per the syllabus and course outline of Maharshi Dayanand University. However, are mostly general topics which cover the working and theoretical aspects of civil engineering. For better understanding and conceptualizing clearly, please do not skip the video and watch till end. We will be discussing about related important questions, feasibility and applications. Let's start the video. Hello students, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this session, we'll continue with the subject design of concrete structures first, which is in 4th semester of Maharshi Dayanand University. And the topic of discussion today would be design of doubly reinforced rectangular beam using limit states method. In earlier lecture, we did singly reinforced beam. So we'll start with the topic now. This you guys know, discussing it since long back. As you can see here, this is the cross section with effective depth small d, and these are given as area of steel under tension. This is XU, and this value is 0.002 and this is 0.0035. This you also know from previous lectures, and the strain value at tension side is 0.002 plus 0.87 Fy upon Es. This value is C2, which represents compression force in concrete, and C1 represents compression force in steel. From C1 up to tensile force, the value is D minus D dash, and D dash is the cover. This is 0.42 XU, and this way it comes out to be D minus 0.42 XU, which is Z and known as lever arm. So C1 is compression force in compression steel, and C2 is compression force in concrete. Total compression force is given by C is equals to C1 plus C2, where C1 is FSC multiplied by ASC, which is force in steel under compression multiplied by area of steel under compression. As you can see here, compression force in compression steel, that's why considering all the aspects of compression steel, and C2 is compression force in concrete, hence it is 0.36 FCK XU into B, which is again the previous formula which we did in the previous video, previous lecture. Now finding the moments. Total moment would be, because there are two compressive forces, so total moment would be M1 plus M2. For the compression steel, the moment is given by FSC multiplied by ASC, and this whole multiplied by D minus D dash. So because C1 is acting here, so up to here till here, it is D minus D dash. And for compression force in concrete, we'll write the expression as it is 0.36 FCK XUB, and this multiplied by D minus 0.42 XU, and this C2 is D minus 0.42 XU from the bottom. So this is how we find the value of total moment. And as we know, We have discussed it in the steel beam theory. Steel beam theory looks like this. If this is area of steel under compression, this is area of steel under tension. So for ultimate moment 1, first beam will be considered as area of steel under tension. So in this beam, we will provide only tension bars. And in second beam, we will provide secondary tensile bars along with compression bars. And this will be generating ultimate moment 2. So it is assumed that one beam is converted into 2 beams for analysis purpose. So both these beams, when combined, they contain the property of this single beam. So total ultimate moment is given by mu, which is equal to mu limiting plus mu2. This is due to first beam. This is due to second beam. And mu limiting is given by the formula 0.36 FCK XU multiplied by B, and this multiplied by D minus 0.42 XU, and where XU is XU max. This is again the same formula, and automatically the value of M2, if we transpose this to this side, comes out to be mu minus mu limiting. And we know that the value of M2 for tensile steel is given by the formula 0.87 Fy AST2 D minus D dash. And M2 for compression steel, which we have discussed already, is given by FSC multiplied by ASC, and this multiplied by D minus D dash. So this is yield stress of the secondary tensile bars. Hence it is AST2, area of steel under tension 2. And these are the compression bars provided in the top face. I hope it is clear to you guys. Now we'll move to a numerical part. So the question goes like this. Design a reinforced concrete beam of size 300 by 300 mm to resist ultimate moment of 87 kilonewton meter. You design a doubly reinforced beam by using M20 grade of concrete and Fe415 steel. So solution is, first we'll write step 1, and in step 1 we'll find the value of XU max, which is given by 0.48 D. And as we know, this is from IS code. For Fe415 steel, the value is 0.48 D. And the value of D is given to be 300 mm, and XU max comes out to be 144 mm. Next is step 2, finding the value of ultimate moment. And it is given by the formula 0.36 FCK XUB, and this expression multiplied by Z, and where Z is D minus 0.42 XU. Substituting the desired values, the given values here, this comes out to be 87.10 to the power 6. Mind it, because it is already given as ultimate moment, so we need not to factor it. 0.36 again, FCK is 20 because M20 grade of concrete is to be used. The value of XU We will find here from here B is given, D is also given to be 300.42 as it is, and XU will find out. So transposing the values, we come out to an expression which looks like this, which is a quadratic equation. And when we solve this quadratic equation, we arrive at a value of XU at as 535 mm. Step third, calculation of MU limiting, which is taken by the first beam as we did in the steel beam theory. This one. So MU limiting, as we discussed previously, is given by the formula 0.36 FCK XU max multiplied by B, and this whole is multiplied by B minus 0.42 XU max. Substituting the values, 0.36 FCK is 20, value of B is 300, XU max we found out, which came to be 144. And B value is 300, D value is 300 again, and XU max we have found out to be 144. So this gives our limiting ultimate moment as 74.5 kilonewton meter. Now step 4 is to calculate M2, second moment. As we all know, this is from second beam. So the total moment was given by the formula MU limiting plus M2. Our total moment is 87 as per the question. Limiting moment we have just found out, which came out to be 74.5, and M2 we can find from here, which comes out to be 12.5 kilonewton meter. Area, now this FCC, which is force in concrete, which is under compression, is given by 0.45 FCK. We have also discussed it during the analysis part that it is taken as even less than half of the characteristic strength of concrete. So it comes out to be 9 Newton per mm square. We'll assume a cover which is D dash as 30 mm and D dash by D ratio comes out to be 0.1, and for this value we use IS 456 2000 code, and this is the table given in this code, which is steel versus D dash by D ratio. So if it is Fe250 steel and D dash by D ratio comes out to be 0.5, then the value that we have to take is 217. So now we'll take the case which is in our question. The steel is Fe415 grade and D dash by D value came out to be 0.1. So the value which we have to finalize is this value. We have to select 353, which gives force in steel under compression is 353 Newton per mm square. Mind it, this table is given in IS 456. Next step is to calculate area of steel under tension to AST2. So this is our step 5. As we discussed in this lecture only, the value of M2 is also given by the formula M2 is equal to 0.87 Fy AST2 D minus D dash. Here we know all the parameters except for AST2. So we'll substitute the values here. M2 we have just found out by subtracting ultimate moment and limiting moment. Here M minus Mu, which came out to be 12.5. So we have substituted that value here in terms of Newton per mm square, 0.87 Fy. Fy is 415. AST2 we have to find out, and D minus D dash we have assumed cover to be 30 mm and D is 300 as given in the question, and we arrive at the value of AST2 as 128 mm square. So area of steel under tension, which is secondary bars, is 128 mm square. And we also know that M2 is given by this formula, which is in terms of steel under compression, and it is given by formula FSC, force in steel under compression, multiplied by ASC, area of steel under compression, and this whole expression multiplied by D minus D dash, which again D dash is effective cover here. Substituting the values again, M2 is 12.5, and in terms of Newton per mm square, it is multiplied by 10 raised to the power 6. FSC is 353, which we have found out from the table given in IS 456. ASC we do not know, and we can find it from here only, and the value of D and D dash is being substituted here. So the area of steel under compression comes out to be 131.2 mm square. Now the job is to equate the forces of compression and the forces of tension, as we have been doing this in most of the questions, as we discussed in the previous lectures as well. So if C is equal to T, then we'll substitute the value of C and T by the formula, which is 0.36 FCK XU max multiplied by B, and it should be equal to 0.87 Fy AST1, area of steel under tension primary. This is to be noted that it is AST1 here. Substituting back all the values, this is 0.36, this is FCK is 20, XU max we found out at the first step of the question, which is 144, B value is 300 again, 0.87, Fy value is 415, and AST1 we do not know. From this equation, we'll find the value of AST1 as well, and we arrive at the value of AST1 as 861 mm square. And we know that area of steel under tension, AST, is given by this formula, AST1 plus AST2. This will give the area of total steel under tension. So these are primary bars and these are secondary bars. AST1, which we have just found out, came out to be 861 mm square, and AST2 we found out to be 128 mm square from the previous page, and the total value of 989 mm square is the value of area of steel under tension. This way, we can distribute the bars as per the requirement feasibly, as we have been doing in the all the last sessions. You can assume the compression bars as say 10 mm, 12 mm, and you can assume tensile bars as say 20 mm. So this way you can distribute the bars both in tensile phase and in compression phase as well. So it is to be noted that AST1, which is primary steel under tension, you have to provide thicker bars. For AST2, you have to again provide thicker bars. Let's say in the last session, we provided 2 bars of 20 mm dia and 1 bar of 22 mm dia. So here you can also do the same. For this you can provide 20 mm, for this you can provide 22 mm, maybe 25 mm, depends upon your choice. For area of steel under compression, for compression bars, you can provide thinner bars of say 10 mm, 12 mm dia. So it's one's choice. And once you have provided the bar, you will have to find the actual area, because the values which we will get will not be the exact values and you will have to approximate them. And then you have to find the exact value of steel. And this way our section will be designed. So I hope you guys are clear with today's session, and you can solve a variety of questions available on design of doubly reinforced beam in almost all the books and available on internets as well. If in case there is any doubt, I hope you guys will mail me at the given email address, as you all know, which is available at the end of this video. Till that time, keep studying, stay healthy, have a great time, and we'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you. I hope you guys could understand and correlate the topics taught in today's session. If there is any query or subject matter issue, feel free to mail me at the given email ID. Live discussion sessions could also be used for discussion of doubts. Thank you.